उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Continuing with the explanation of devotional service given by Lord Kapila, here we are seeing how a devotee approaches or how a devotee executes his devotional service with respect to the deity form of the Lord in the temple. So various considerations are given. What all is expected of a devotee in his service to the deity in the temple. So let us see. Madhishnya darshana sparsha. Madhishnya, dishnya means, Prabhupada translates it as statue or statues in the temple. So specifically, usually we use the terminology, the deity form. Madhishnya, Lord Kapila is referring to himself. Madhishnya, he is a supreme Lord, my deity form in the temple. Darshana, simple darshana. Sparsha, touching. Puja, worship. Stuti, glorifying or offering prayers. Abhivandanaihi, offering respects by whatever obeisances. Bhuteshu madbhavanaya, seeing every living entity as qualitatively equal with that of the Lord. Then sattvena, in the mode of goodness. Asangamena, with detachment or with a spirit of renunciation. So these are the 8 considerations given here by Lord Kapila in respect to worshipping the deity form of the Lord in the temple. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions how, like the most important consideration, let us see, say there is a differentiation between how a neophyte devotee, how he approaches the Supreme Lord in the deity form in the temple, and how an advanced devotee approaches the same Supreme Lord in his deity form in the temple. Prabhupada writes, a neophyte considers the Archa Vigraha, the statue of the Lord, to be different from the original personality of Godhead. So if at all we are considering the deity form in the temple to be a representation only, to be something different from. Okay, the Supreme Lord is there in the spiritual world, but here it's only like say the Lord is different and the deity is different. He considers it a representation of the Supreme Lord in the form of a deity. It's only a representation. Usually, many a times, Srila Prabhupada has given this example of a post box. There is the general post office, and they have authorized different post boxes at different locations in the city or in some villages, wherever, in all different places. And what purpose does this post box serve? If at all we want to send a letter to a person, to our friend who is staying some very far away, we make use of this facility. So we go, put the letter with whatever required procedure into the post box, and the postman comes. He has his own daily schedule, some timings. He comes, opens the post box, picks those letters and goes to the post office, and there some procedures are there, takes place, and it will be shifted, it will be transported, and a mechanism is there through which the letter goes and reaches the person whom it is intended to, whom we wanted to send that letter to. So here we are there, and the person whom we want to give that letter to, he is there somewhere far away, and this mechanism of the post box, the postman, the post office is there. It's an instrument through which we deliver the letter. So, of course, this example is there, but if at all we take it in some literal sense, oh, I am there, the Lord is there far away in the spiritual sky, and this is an instrument only, the temple worship, the deity form, through which my worship reaches Him, my prayer offerings reaches Him who is there far away. So this understanding is advanced or neophyte? Neophyte understanding. He thinks in this way. He sees the deity form as a representation of the Lord only. He sees the deity form as something different from the Supreme Lord. Now, coming to say an advanced devotee, Prabhupada says, but an advanced devotee accepts the deity in the temple as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not see any difference between the original form of the Lord and the statue or archa form of the Lord in the temple. So this is the vision of an advanced devotee. How does he see? He accepts the deity form in the temple as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. He sees no difference between the Archa Vigraha, the deity form, and the Supreme Lord. He finds no difference. So this is the vision of an advanced devotee. So keeping this in mind, of course, as sadhakas, we may start off from somewhere, but we have to elevate to this platform of of an advanced devotee who sees the Supreme Lord in his deity form, or who sees the deity form of the Lord as non-different from the Supreme Lord. So this is the vision of an advanced devotee. So now, getting into the details of each of them, each of the 8 points which are mentioned in today's verse. So first thing is darshana. We come to the temple, we take darshan of the Lord. We see the beautiful form of the Lord. Devotees come for Mangalarti or Darshanarti, or evening time, we take darshan of the Lord. Just stand before Him and fill our eyes by looking at the beautiful form. And not just this, we want to extend it also. We have paintings, the photograph of the Lord. Maybe we put up somewhere in our offices, on our tables. Some devotees, they carry some small photos in their pockets also. And especially now, technology on the mobile phones, on the screens, whatever, on our desktop. So in varieties of ways, we want to take darshan of the Lord. We see the beautiful form of the Lord. We want to be continuously in touch with that beautiful form, because it is only when we fill our eyes, we become satisfied by looking at the beautiful form, deity form of the Supreme Lord. Only then will we be relieved of our the thirst or the hunger to look at whatever so-called material beauty in the outside world. Our eyes naturally go in for looking at material things, material beauty. If at all that craving should stop, it can happen through this. In one place, Prabhupada says how, while taking the darshan of the Lord also, a devotee focuses on each and every limb, each and every item, maybe in the dress, in the jewelry, in the kind of flowers being offered, giving attention to all of these details. The intelligence become purified. So this is what Prabhupada says. So here we can recollect how the famous story of one of the disciple of Sri Ramanujacharya by name Dasa, who was so enamored by the beauty of his beloved woman, but by the arrangement of his spiritual master Ramanujacharya, how when he saw the beauty of the deity form of the Lord, he was able to give up the attraction for whatever other things and dedicated his life for serving the Supreme Lord. See, all of these things happens in, say, this aspect of devotional service, darshana. And then sparsha. Sparsha means touching. So specifically Prabhupada in purport says touching the lotus feet of the Lord, of the deity form in the Lord, of the Lord in the temple. Of course, this practically may not be possible for everyone. The pujaris who go inside the altar, render personal service to the deity of the Lord, they have this facility, personally touching the lotus feet of the Lord. So other devotees, at least everyone, we have got the facility to touch the lotus feet of our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. We can make use of this opportunity. And whenever opportunity is there, we can also make use of it by touching the lotus feet of the Lord in His deity form. We have seen how Mother Lakshmi, fully dedicated for pressing or whatever, massaging the lotus feet of the Lord, and Tulasi Devi always rendering service, who is whatever in touch with the lotus feet of the Lord always. So this is sparsha. And then puja. So this is the main thing. Darshana, sparsha and puja. The details Srila Prabhupada gives in the purport. Offering of fruits, offering of flowers and all varieties of paraphernalia for worshipping the Lord. So here also, maybe in our temple, in the temples we see how on behalf of all the devotees, one devotee carries to the Lord, to the altar, different kinds of worshipful paraphernalia. It may be the incense, lamp, scented water, cloth, flowers and many such items. And then fruits, flowers, varieties of bhoga, it is being offered to the Lord. And then devotees partake it as prasadam. So all of these services are there. So especially we should be very respectful towards and always be ready to assist the devotees who are involved in such personal services to the Lord. And then maybe say other devotees, see how their consciousness should be. If at all a devotee is going out for collection, for raising funds, so the consciousness should be, yes, I am going out to secure money to maintain the regular worship of the Supreme Lord, to maintain the regular offerings to be done to the Supreme Lord in the temple in His deity form. And say other devotees, and also we want to construct a big temple for the Lord so that we can increase the quality and the quantity of our offerings to the Supreme Lord. And those devotees involved in, say, cultivating people, yes, we need to engage more and more souls in the service of the Lord, more servants for the Supreme Lord, so that we can expand our services to the Supreme Lord. So this is how all our varieties of activities we can connect as an offering to the Supreme Lord, to the deity form in the temple. So He is in the center. All of our activities are meant for serving Him, for His pleasure. So this is the consciousness of a devotee. Though we may be engaged in varieties of services. So this is puja. And say example, we can find just like the earlier example of the king Bahulashva and the Shrutadeva. In their own capacities, they served the Supreme Lord when He came to their homes. We have heard the story of Madhavendra Puri from Chaitanya Charitamrita. How the kind of worship he offered to the deity of Gopala atop the hill of Govardhan. He arranged for varieties of things, very opulently, the deity form of the Lord. Gopala, he was being worshipped atop Govardhan hill. And if we see his consciousness, he travelled all the way down south to Jagannath Puri to secure sandalwood for Lord Gopala. And on the way in Remuna, he just heard about the wonderful sweet rice being offered to Lord Gopinatha there. And he started thinking, if I can taste a little of that whatever food what is being offered to Lord Gopinatha here, I can prepare such special sweet rice and offer it to Gopala in Govardhan. So this is the consciousness of devotees. This is puja, how we need to offer worshipable paraphernalia to the deity form in the temple. So this is the third one. And the fourth, stuti. Stuti means reciting notable prayers. So this is there in our schedule in our temple. Every day we devotees come here to the temple hall. We start our day by chanting the Guru Ashtaka prayers and Narasimha Kirtana. All of these are varieties of prayers given in various Vedic literatures, written by great acharyas, glorifying the Supreme Lord, glorifying pure devotees. Tulsi Maharani prayers we offer, and then again we offer Savarna Shri Gaura Padme Prarthana, prayer to Lord Chaitanya and all of his associates, like this. And then we recite Bhagavatam prayers. These are all a part of stuti. We come in front of the Lord and glorify the Lord. So for sadhakas, it is recommended that we offer standard prayers because our consciousness will not be completely purified. There may be a mixture of various kinds of rajoguna, tamoguna, desires and all. So we offer standard prayers. Here we will be safe if we offer standard prayers, even though some mistake is there in our pronunciation, some in our other things also, some offenses are there. Those things will be neglected. The Lord is Bhavagrahi. Bhavagrahi Janardhana, we say. I just went through, like searching for this Bhavagrahi Janardhana. The complete verse goes like this: Murkho vadati Vishnaya, Dhiro vadati Vishnave, Ubhayor tat samam punyam, Bhavagrahi Janardhana. This is found in some other Vedic literature, maybe Padma Purana, I think, I don't know the reference, wherein it is said how the Lord is Bhavagrahi. He sees the bhava, the intent, the mood of a devotee. The example given here is Murkho vadati Vishnaya. Just like we say Krishnaya Namaha, Krishna Stotra, Krishnaya Namaha, or Narayanaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. So there is Krishna or Govinda, Narayana. We say Krishnaya, Govindaya, Narayanaya. So there is another name of the Lord, Vishnu. So a person who is not acquainted with Sanskrit grammar, he may say Vishnaya, Vishnaya Swaha, but no, it is wrong. According to strict rules of Sanskrit grammar, the Vibhakti and all, no, Narayana, Akaranta, that is different. Vishnu, it's something different. We can't say Vishnaya, it is grammatically incorrect. But still, what to do? Is it that a devotee is not aware of Sanskrit grammar? He can't offer the Naivedya to the Lord, can't he offer prayers to the Lord if his grammar is incorrect? No, still the Lord will accept. Even if he says, actually the ideal is Vishnave, Dhiro vadati Vishnave. Dhira means a sober person, a learned person. He says Vishnave Namaha, grammatically correct. What if a murkha or maybe an unacquainted person who doesn't know proper grammar, he may say Vishnaya Namaha. But still, it is said, Murkho vadati Vishnaya, Dhiro vadati Vishnave, Ubhayortad samam punyam. Both of them, one person says Vishnaya and another person says Vishnave. Ubhayortad samam punyam. Both of them will be equally rewarded. Why? Because Bhavagrahi Janardana. The Lord, He is Bhavagrahi. So this is how neophyte sadhakas, they are recommended to chant some notable standard prayers. So this is regarding stuti. And then fifth one, Abhivandanaihi, offering obeisances. So we come offer what we call Sashtanga Namaskara, touching our forehead, our chest, our hands, our legs, our belly portion, knees, and closing our eyes, we offer prayers. So which is known as Sashtanga Namaskar. The way how Dhruva Maharaja, when he saw the Supreme Lord personally, in the Bhagavatam it is said how immediately he prostrated himself in front of the Lord. Avandatangam vinimaya dandavat. So he paid this dandavat in front of the Lord. So likewise we come to the temple, offer prostrated obeisances in front of the deity form of the Lord. So this is Abhivandanaihi. And then next, Bhuteshu Madbhavanaya, considering all living entities as spirit soul, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. See, now we may wonder, now we are speaking about, say, the deity worship, what the puja, the offerings, the stuti, darshana, sparsha, and all of these things. Considering all living entities as spiritual, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, yes, this also is considered under the deity worship. The way it's neophyte stage. Oh, the Supreme Lord is there in the deity form of the Lord, and full respect we have and wonderfully we worship. But when it comes to our treatment or whatever, the way we deal with the Lord's devotees, if at all, if it is harsh, if it is violent behavior, if it is like say that if there is lack of forgiveness, compassion, then the Lord will not be fully pleased with our service. So this understanding should be there, and this understanding should be applied also the way we treat other devotees of the Supreme Lord, considering everyone to be qualitatively one with the Supreme Lord. All living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So this is another consideration. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, to advance in devotional service, a devotee should see other living entities as spiritual sparks, parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. A devotee is to offer respect to every living entity, every entity that has a relationship with the Lord. So everything has got relationship with the Lord, and everything needs to be respected. And then seventh one, Sattvena, one must perform devotional service with great patience. Patience is necessary for developing the confidence that Krishna will certainly accept me because I am engaging in devotional service. So devotee should have patience. Rupa Goswami also says this in Upadeshamrita, which is that verse, Utsahat Nishchayat Dhairyat. Dhairyat means having patience. Through patience, he develops this he has this confidence. What is that? Krishna will certainly accept me because I am engaging in devotional service to Krishna. As of today, it may be filled with offenses, lot of mistakes I may be committing, but still, even to worship the Lord offenselessly, the intelligence required, the ability required, the talent or whatever facility, anything, for everything we are simply dependent on Krishna. So whatever we are lacking, Krishna is the one who supplies, and whatever we have, to the best of our capacity, we offer it to the Lord. So this is how a devotee in sattvena, in the mode of goodness, having patience, having confidence in the Lord, in the protection of the Lord, he continues to render devotional service. Then last one, asangamena cha, he should see the Supreme Lord in the spirit of renunciation. Because Srila Prabhupada, like say in many of his lectures, he says, different people, they go to different temples and they pray to the Lord. What is that? Rupam Dehi, Dhanam Dehi, whatever, Dehi, 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 give me this, give me that. No, this is not spirit of renunciation. It's completely materialistic. We go to the Lord, offer our respects to Him, serve Him in the spirit of renunciation, with detachment. What a devotee wants, he only wants devotional service to the Lord. Nothing material, nothing of whatever material, it may be name and fame or subtle or gross, nothing of any nothing material. He simply wants to continue rendering devotional service to the Lord. Just one quote I'll read of Srila Prabhupada and we'll conclude with this. Prabhupada says in one place, a real intelligent person is he who is satisfied what Krishna has given him. If Krishna wants, he will give me more. Let me become Krishna conscious. Let me study about Krishna. Let me chant about Krishna. Let me hear about Krishna. Let me see with my eyes Krishna, the deity Krishna. Let me engage my hands in worshipping Krishna, in cleansing the temple, my hands. Let my legs be engaged in going to the temple. In this way, all our senses should be engaged in the service of Krishna. That is our real business. So Prabhupada says here how we need to engage all of our different senses in the service of the Lord, and all of these considerations we saw Lord Kapila explaining. Through all of these things we are engaged in the deity service of the Lord in the temple. This is our real business. So we'll conclude with this. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.